Day, the moon continues in Aries and has now moved past Saturn, so is kind of finishing its time in the later degrees of Aries. Been around the block a little bit as it reaches those later degrees of Aries. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro Vibe for Tuesday, August 4th, and we are into this Cancer moon cycle that began with the July 14th new moon in Cancer and will end with the August 12th solar eclipse new moon in Leo. So we're heading into that next moon cycle that will be very potent with a solar eclipse. And we're well into this Cancer moon cycle where we're focusing on themes of caring, self-care, and maybe looking at some new self-care routines, what it is that will support you and keep you going as you move through a process of change. And we've been talking a lot here about change. The outer planets are bringing change. We see change in the world around us. That change is reflected within as well as we discover new parts of ourselves, as we awaken to what we're here to do, or discover how to move through something difficult or challenging in our lives, or find out more about what we're capable of. With the Saturn and Neptune in Aries and today's moon in Aries, we also have this energy of new beginnings. So embarking on that journey of what it is you're going to be building, and in this case, thinking long term, like what do you want that might take years, even decades, to fully realize? Thinking about those long term hopes, dreams, and visions, because as the Saturn Neptune cycle, which is a 35 to 36 year cycle that begins this year and a little bit in 2025, but mostly this year, really that new beginning of that whole cycle. So that cycle is about how we make dreams real. And I've got a podcast episode out about the Saturn Neptune cycle, so you can learn more about that in the Astrology Heals podcast. And for today, looking at the moon continuing in Aries and working on that theme of self-care and how we are putting new routines and practices and habits in place that care for ourselves. And because we've been through so much upheaval in the world, name your name your upheaval. It's really a good time to revisit those self-care practices and what do you need to do to stay at baseline or come back to baseline and come back to where your energy is getting replenished on a regular basis rather than depleted over time. So the goal is to replenish what we've depleted and then a little bit more, right? So we're building our resilience, we're building our foundation of energy and capacity to move through the world and the challenges and the things that are hard and confusing sometimes. So take good care of yourself. And with the Aries moon vibe, it's about what kind of actions do you need? Do you need to get a little bit more exercise, a little more movement? Do you need to make decisions in a different way? What is going to help you with movement in your life? What is going to support your fire energy? What nourishes you to have the energy to do the things you want to do that are important to you? And it doesn't have to be something you like. Some of these are actual really problems in our lives, right? Sometimes it's a real challenge to figure out how to replenish your energy. So the point is, don't expect that you're going to fix the whole thing overnight, but do expect that you can take a step in the right direction. And that if you keep taking those steps over time, you will find more ways to care for yourself, to nourish yourself, to replenish your energy. And you will find that with that intention over time, it gets better and better and better. And that's the goal, right? Where it's not about having something magically be solved all at once, although it's great when that happens. But most of the time, it works the other way, where instead, what we're really going for is to see steady progress in the right direction. With Saturn in Aries, like I was saying yesterday in my video from yesterday, that's the idea, right? It's about this one step at a time feeling of like, okay, we know where we're heading, we know what we want, and now we have to make all the little day-to-day decisions that are going to help keep us moving in that direction, making progress toward wherever it is we want to be. And that can be multiple levels at once. It can be our self-care practices and feeling replenished more on a regular basis. It can also be our creative goals. It can also be, any kind of goal that you have that, you might be just putting the pieces in place at this point that are going to support you in, solid movement in that direction. So think about it in baby steps. Think about it in terms of your long-term goals and what supports you to move in that direction, not what's going to help you flip a switch and have something instantly overnight. Because I think, again, that's great if that happens, but it might be a little more realistic, especially with Saturn in Aries, to think about movement as happening over time. But real movement does happen. So cool to think about that. All right. Thank you for being here. And you can find my podcast episodes at transformationalastrology.com. They are also available anywhere you get your podcasts. Thank you for your support in helping me get the word out about my podcast and this YouTube channel. I appreciate you, and I will see you next time with more astrology for unshakable self-care. Bye for now.